Okay. Hi guys. This is going to be an awful video, meaning quality-wise. Um, it's gonna be complete crap, and I'm really sorry. But this is what I have to go off of because I don't want to do it on my phone. It never uploads right on Facebook, and I don't want to have to go through redoing it over and over and over again. So I'm using YouTube to go ahead and do it. But you guys requested that I do a video on my battling depression, but also some of you requested that I do a video on my tattoo, and then, so, I mean, instead of trying to make a bunch of different separate videos, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw everything in here together. So, I'm gonna start with the whole depression thing, and that is gonna work into my high school experience because it's one of the reasons that I got depressed in the first place. And yeah, and in advance, I want to apologize for looking sunburned and gross and icky. It's like 9 o'clock and I'm sleepy and I haven't been having the greatest of days, I guess you could say. I'm just bleh. But so starting off with the whole depression thing. I was born in Deltona, Florida, so I lived there my whole life, and as soon as I graduated middle school, and I was out of the 8th grade, my mom told me that we were going to move to Alabama because my dad had got a job up here, and I had some relatives up here. So at first I was kind of excited, and then once they for sure, we needed to say goodbye and move on and all that kind of stuff, it just became pretty upsetting. So I got really sad. Sorry if I messed with my hair a lot. There's this little hair right there, and it's bothering me. But so they were telling me that we're gonna move up here, and if it would have been, I had just graduated elementary school and was starting middle school, or if I was going into the 8th grade or something, it probably wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But the fact that I had just left the 8th grade and I was starting high school and then moving to a completely different state, I didn't know anybody. And it's a little bit easier to move from school to school when you have a couple of friends. So my whole concern was me starting high school without knowing anybody and not knowing the school and not knowing the area and all that kind of stuff. So that's what concerned me the most. And I started school here. Freshman year was fine. It was okay. I didn't have any problems. I met a couple of friends. It was fine. I mean, I actually really enjoyed freshman year, and I liked being on the bottom of the food chain. I really enjoyed it. I liked the kind of attention that we got, even though most of it was bad and we were being booed by the higher classmen. I mean, it was fine for me. I liked it, and I liked learning the materials that they teach you in freshman year, so I just liked it. And then sophomore year started off, it was fine, I guess you could say. It was average. I mean, starting back to school was whatever. And then in the middle of sophomore year, I started to really get homesick and I started to lose a lot of friends. And so to get over that, I started cutting. And I've cut before. This wasn't, I didn't start sophomore year. I started cutting when I was in the 6th grade. Nothing super major bad. I mean, you guys, it's not like I took huge knives and gashed stuff in my skin. It's not like that. I'm not that kind of a person to do that. I don't have the guts to do it, I guess you could say. I'm more of a small little baby cut thing. Anything to just take my mind off the pain is what I wanted to do. So, I started cutting, and it's not that it was terrible, but it wasn't great. Like, meaning they weren't horrible cuts to where I was putting myself in complete crazy danger, like cutting a vein or something, but they were bad enough to the point where it scarred and it was very noticeable, and I was getting attention from it, which is Wow, the computer just went black. Sorry. Which is what I didn't want. I honestly did not want attention from it. And that's what so many people say cutting is for. Cutting is not for attention. Cutting is to get your mind off of something else. Yes, I agree that there are people out there that do it for attention. Like people that will slice their arms and then go around and take pictures and show people and say that they're doing it because they're upset. It's not something that you need to advertise. Cutting is not something that I really hope none of you do it. And if you do, I mean, come talk to me. Just come talk to me and I'll be as supportive as I possibly can be, I promise you. And I'll do whatever I can. But um I yes, I went to cutting for it. The depression and I cut really bad one day and it was in the middle of summer. So it was extremely hot and my mom knew that something was up because I had been wearing long sleeves around the house. Like who wears long sleeves around the house during summer when it's 115 degrees in the house? It was extremely hot and um so I openly came clean to my mom. I showed her my wrist. I told her that I'd cut and we worked on it from there. She was always there for me, supportive. I had to talk to her about when I felt stuff. She made me start writing in a notebook about all my feelings, and then at the end of the week, we would go in her room and discuss what I had wrote down in the notebook. Anything I wasn't comfortable about sharing with her, I didn't have to share with her. That kind of thing. And so, sorry, my Facebook's up. So, that was one of the things that really helped me cope. And so after that, I started working on Facebook as a teen advocate for suicidal and depressed teens, which is what I do now. I have a bunch of pages, and most of you guys know that. Those of you that follow me on Facebook and stuff like that. And so I do that to help people get over cutting and really depression and everything like that. But yeah, so I became clean for a good 6 to 8 months. I was really good at it. And then one day I just completely lost it, I guess, and I couldn't help myself and I cut again. And I was completely and utterly ashamed and I did apologize to everyone that I did it. And, my mom was understanding of it and she tried to support me and help me and I got rid of all of my cutting utensils because people call them razors, but I would use anything that I could possibly use. So I got a big box and I put everything in the box and put the box out in the hallway and taped it up so I couldn't get to it. And so now every time that I feel the urge to cut, everyone tells you to draw something on yourself, which works for some people, or to write a song or whatever. When I feel like I'm gonna cut, I grab my headphones and I put them in and I ignore the whole entire world. Like no one matters to me. So, I mean, that's just what works for me and I really hope that you guys can go ahead and take this kind of advice and I mean, even if you feel like no one's there, no one will listen to you, I'm here. And I know it's hard to open up to people, and you're always scared that you're going to get judged, but I've been through a, a lot. And so, yeah. I'm not trying to, like, start crying and stuff, but, I'm just trying to help you guys and be supportive and do whatever I can. So, with that saying how I started the cutting, I've been clean now for about 2 months. And I'm proud of myself. And, speaking of the whole clean for 2 months, I'm doing the butterfly challenge. And that's where, you support people that have either cut or you draw a butterfly for anyone that cuts that you know of to show them support that you want them to stop, or you add butterflies for everyone that wants you to get better and wants you to stop. So this is my family's arm, and this is my mom. butterfly, my dad's butterfly, my brother's butterfly, my grandma, and my grandpa who passed away in 2009. So, this is my arm for that. This is my friend's butterfly arm. So all my friends who support me are on here. This is Gabby. This is Hansley, Kimmy, Eli, and Katie, and those are all people that want me to want me to stop self-harming or have self-harm themselves. So that's just me trying to move forward, and I want to participate in the Butterfly Challenge, and so that's what I'm doing. And that kind of wraps up the whole depression thing. I mean, that's how I got depressed, is me moving different schools and different states and not having any friends, and then having to do high school completely alone the first year or so, because everyone that I thought I could trust, I couldn't trust, and now I have a very limited amount of friends because of it, and I only really open up to maybe 2 or 3 people, and one of those people is my mom. So it just goes to show you, it's very limited on who I speak to about certain things. But then so the whole thing is basically people in high school. A lot of people only care about popularity and where they're going to be going in life, and they'll do anything that they can to drag you down and make you feel worthless, and I don't want you guys to feel that way at all. Like, at all. And I know it's hard because it gets to you, but I just don't want any of you watching this to feel like you're alone, because you're not. And even though it's hard to talk to people sometimes, I'm always here. You guys have my personal, I link it and almost everything. So, talk to me. Before you do anything, talk to me. But that just kind of wraps up my whole depression high school experience thing. I'm going to start my junior year in about 3 weeks. And if you guys like these types of videos, I'll continue to make updates and stuff. I am going to disable comments on this because I honestly don't want to hear any negativity, because it was hard enough for a lot of people to open up and talk about this. I'm one of the easier people, but I don't want to hear any negative comments. I only want positive things and moving forward type situations. And so wrapping up the whole high school and depression experience, we move on to my tattoo. You guys have seen pictures of it, plenty of pictures, but I know this looks so awkward right now. But this is my tattoo. It's a treble and bass clef put together to make a heart, and then it has 2 little music notes coming out of it right here. And that's for those of you who are really close to me. I've explained it a million times, but music is the only thing that continues to keep me here and keep me going, other than family and friends. Like, yeah, you guys are supportive, and I love you. But music is what I can really rely on, I guess you could say, because whenever I feel bad, I can put my headphones in and put a certain song on, whether it be from Sleeping with Sirens to Bring Me the Horizon to anything. I mean, I can put anything on. Mayday Parade's my favorite band, and I listen to them a lot, but I mean, sometimes when I'm mad, my type of music changes. When I'm mad, it'll be of Mice and Men and Bring Me the Horizon, and when I'm upset and I need something to, like, cry to and vent to and really feel emotional about, it's Mayday Parade. And when I'm kind of in a happy, giddy type mood, it's Sleeping with Sirens. So, it depends on my mood, on what kind of music I listen to. And Pierce the Veil is also one of those bands that I listen to when I'm feeling emotional. But, yeah. But I got my tattoo at 15, and I get a lot of crap for it. A lot of people don't like the fact that I got it at 15, but hey, it's my body, and this is what I'm going to do. And I do plan on getting a bunch more tattoos, and I plan on having sleeves when I get older, and having a lot of a lot of tattoos, a lot of piercings, all that good stuff. But right now, my mom's only agreeing to tattoos, and I have to pay for them on my own. And right now, I'm applying for jobs, so I'm kind of broke. So that's out of the question. But that's kind of all I have to say to you guys right now. I don't want to drag this video on any longer than it needs to be. But that was just me blabbing about all that kind of stuff, and I hope that you guys find it somewhat helpful, and if you don't, I'm sorry. You know, always message me or, make a request on what videos you want me to do, but yeah, I love you guys, and thank you for watching, and I will continue to make videos if you want me to, but until then, goodbye.